Ultamize. Vague goals are wishes wearing business clothes. They sound responsible. They sound impressive. They sound like the sort of thing a serious adult should say. I want to be successful. I want to make more money. I want to grow my business. I want to have more freedom. I want to be healthier. I want to be a thought leader. Oh, I've thought that one. These all sound fine. They may even be true, but as goals, they're still too foggy to guide a serious life decision. The problem with a vague goal is not that it's bad. The problem is that it doesn't make any demands on your thinking. It lets you feel ambitious without forcing you to choose. And real goal setting requires choosing. The moment you make a goal specific, you have to face trade offs. You have to face details. You have to face what the goal actually means on a normal day, in a normal week, with your real calendar, your real energy, your real responsibilities, and your real personality. Take the goal, I want to make more money. Perfectly understandable. I've never met anyone who said, TJ, my biggest problem is that I have too much financial breathing room. Although, yeah, a lot of money can cause problems. Still, more money in general can reduce stress. More money can create choices. More money can support family, travel, giving, comfort, security, education, philanthropy, business growth, and peace of mind. So believe me, I'm not against money goals. I'm against lazy money goals. More money is not specific enough to guide your decisions. How much more? By when? From what source? With what cost? With what risk? With what impact on your time, health, relationships, and freedom? If a consultant says, I want to make more money, that could mean raising fees by 20%. It could mean taking on more clients. It could mean creating a scalable product. It could mean hiring a team. It could mean becoming a speaker. It could mean moving into corporate contracts. It could mean working fewer hours, but with higher value clients. Those are not the same goal. They all sit under the vague, fuzzy banner of make more money, but each one creates a different life. One gives you leverage. One gives you pressure. One gives you visibility. One gives you management headaches. One gives you more freedom. One gives you less freedom and a nicer looking tax return. That's why specificity matters. It really matters, not because the goal setting police are going to show up at your door with a clipboard. Excuse me, sir, this ambition is insufficiently measurable. No. Specificity matters because it reveals the shape of the life you're choosing. A vague goal hides the consequences. A specific goal exposes them. The same is true with I want to be successful. Successful at what? Successful according to whom? Successful in a way that gives you more control, or successful in a way that makes you permanently available to everyone? Successful because you love to work, or successful because strangers admire the label? Successful because your life feels stronger, or successful because people who barely know you assume you must be doing well? These are very different scoreboards. This is where a lot of professionals get into trouble. They use words that feel clear because everyone says them. Success, growth, impact, freedom, leadership, influence, wealth, balance. But familiar words are not always clear words. In fact, familiar words are often the most dangerous because they slide past the brain without being examined in detail. You say, I want growth, and everybody nods. But growth of what? Revenue, team size, profit margin, reputation, skills, audience, personal maturity, peace of mind, free time. You can grow one of those while shrinking another. I once spoke with a business owner who kept saying he wanted to scale. That was the word, scale. Everything was scale. It sounded modern. It sounded sophisticated. It sounded like something you'd hear on a podcast from a guy with a microphone that cost more than my first car. But when we actually talked through what scaling meant for him, he realized he didn't want a bigger company. He didn't want more employees. He didn't want more meetings. He didn't want more operational complexity. What he really wanted was more predictable income from fewer, better clients. That's not the same thing as scale. That's a different goal, a better goal for him. But he almost missed it because he was using the fashionable word instead of the accurate word. This matters because language shapes ambition. If your language is vague, your goal will be vague. If your goal is vague, your actions will scatter. If your actions scatter, your life starts filling up with activity that may look productive from the outside, but doesn't necessarily point anywhere. You're busy. You're moving. You're answering emails. You're taking calls. You're buying software. You're making plans. You're reading posts about people who wake up at 4:14 in the morning and do breath work on a mountain. But the whole time, the core goal is still cloudy. So here's the test. Take any goal you have and make it pass through three questions. First, what exactly do I mean? Second, what would be different in my life if this goal were achieved? Third, what would I have to say no to in order to make it real? Those three questions immediately improve the quality of your goal setting, not because they make the goal easy, because they make it honest. Now, what exactly do I mean? Forces definition. What would be different? It forces reality. What would I say no to? That forces strategy. A goal that cannot survive those three questions is probably not ready yet. It may still be a desire, might be a fantasy. It might still be an emotional signal. That's fine. Don't throw it away. Just don't pretend it's a finished goal. Let's use I want more freedom. That's a wonderful phrase. Almost everybody likes freedom. Hard to be against freedom. Even people who want to control everyone else usually describe it as protecting freedom. But what does freedom mean for you? Is it freedom from financial anxiety? Freedom from a boss? Freedom from meetings? Freedom from travel? Freedom to travel? Freedom to create? Freedom to be invisible? Freedom to be publicly known but privately protected? Freedom to work deeply for 4 hours a day? Freedom to build something large and lead a team? Different people use the same word and mean completely different lives. And this is where intrinsic and extrinsic goals start to matter. We'll go deeper into this later, but for now, understand the basic distinction. Some goals are driven mostly by external reward, approval, status, applause, ranking, comparison, visible symbols of success from the outside. Other goals are driven more by internal fit, meaning for you, curiosity, autonomy, mastery, contribution, health, relationships, creative satisfaction, the feeling that your life actually belongs to you. Now, external rewards are not evil. I like applause. I like money. I like recognition. I'm not here pretending to be a monk who accidentally wandered into a studio. But if the entire goal is built on external validation, it might not satisfy you, even if you reach it. That's why vague goals are especially dangerous. They often hide the difference between what you truly value and what you merely want other people to notice. I want to be respected may really mean I want to do excellent work that helps people. Or it may mean I want people who ignored me years ago to finally feel inferior. One of those is more sustainable than the other. Also, one of them makes Thanksgiving slightly more awkward. The goal setting work is to translate vague ambition into clear direction, not to kill ambition, not to become smaller, not to say, who am I to want something big? No, that's not the point. Want big things if they're truly yours. Want difficult things if they matter to you. Want wealth, achievement, influence, mastery, contribution, creativity, independence, whatever genuinely fits you. But don't leave the goal in fog. Fog makes everything look larger, softer, and more magical than it really is. A useful goal should be clear enough to guide behavior. It should help you make decisions. It should help you say yes. It should help you say no. Oh, wow, that's a big one. It really should be able to help you say no. It should help you know when you're on track and when you're just entertaining yourself with the vague, fuzzy feeling of ambition, because that feeling can become addictive. Planning feels good. Imagining feels good. Announcing feels good. Buying the notebook feels good. Creating the spreadsheet feels good, but none of that means the goal is clear. So before you move forward, take one goal you've been carrying around and sharpen it. Don't ask whether it sounds impressive. Ask whether it's clear. Don't ask whether other people would approve. Ask whether it tells you what to do differently. Don't ask whether it looks good in a sentence. Ask whether it would create a life you actually want to live. Because vague goals are easy to admire and hard to use. Strategic goals are harder to create, but much easier to live by.